Hello and welcome to another episode of The Climb, the Confident Leader podcast. I'm your host, Rahul Sharma, where I bring stories of leaders moving from invisible to becoming an influencer. And today I have another young entrepreneur, an award winning marketing expert, a podcaster, and a founder of Church Candy Marketing, a marketing agency specializing in getting churches new church guests and helping pastors grow their ministries. He's also the author of best-selling book Launch Big, the complete digital marketing guide for church planters. He has built Church Candy to multiple seven figures in annual revenue by age of 25 and has helped over 1,000 churches grow, connecting 300,000 people to local churches across North America. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for one and only Brady Sticker. Brady, welcome to our show. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm so excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Awesome. We are very blessed to have you here. The work that you have done for the churches that has taken your expertise is phenomenal, and that too at such a young age. So help us understand your journey, how you began, and where are you today to our audience, so that they get to know more about you as a person. Share your journey.
So me, I wanted to be a pastor. Like, I wanted to go work at a church and just I wanted to do ministry full time. But at the same time, I also really wanted to be a dad and have like a family. Well, a lot of the times working in ministry, like a lot of times you don't get paid very well. And so, whenever I was going to seminary, my dad had actually he started a company that did marketing for chiropractors. And it started for him as a side hustle. And when I was right out of high school, I started helping him kind of build funnels and email automations and some of this at just like 18 years old, really just to help my dad. It was cool because my dad would pay me $50 to build out a funnel for one of his clients. And for an 18-year-old that was working at a coffee shop making minimum wage plus tips, $50 to build a funnel. I was like, yeah, man, this is awesome. I don't know what a funnel is, but I'll figure it out. So that was kind of like my first intro into like the marketing world. And, while I was in seminary, I just thought like, all right, I'll get a job at a church and it'll be nice because I'll be able to work for my dad's company. And at the time we were scaling and growing that. And so I was like, I'll be able to work for my dad's company. And that way I don't have to like depend on a paycheck from a church to provide for my family. Cause I wanted to get married and have kids. Well, I just realized whenever I was in Bible college, like, all right, everything that I'm doing for these chiropractors, I really think local churches need this too. And so my first job out of seminary was as a youth pastor here in the Woodlands, Texas, just outside of Houston. And while I was doing like student ministry, I also helped our church with some social media ads, like with the goal of to get people like into the church. And it didn't work at first. My pastor gave me a $500 budget and no one showed up from the ads the first campaign we ran, and that was really embarrassing and like, oh my gosh, maybe this isn't like a good idea, maybe I shouldn't do this. And at the same time, like I have this mindset of I'm super young, I'm in my early 20s. I have this dream of like, yes, I want to help my church, but I would love to help a lot of churches and kind of like build an organization that would be able to help a lot of churches get a lot of people into church. And so the first campaign we ran did not work at all, but we tweaked things, we innovated, and we tried different tactics until we started to see new faces. And then my pastor told his friends about what we were doing, and they told their friends, and that's how Church Candy started. A big thing for me was I would go to different like marketing events and these different networking things, and I would be in a room with these like really high level entrepreneurs, and they were all doing multiple seven figures in their business, and I'd be talking with them at lunch, and I'm like, this guy's a total goofball. Like this dude, there's nothing special about him. If he can do it, then I can definitely do it. Like I remember having those thoughts when I was like 20 years old. And that was really like motivation for me to really pursue this and kind of get over that imposter syndrome. I was just surrounding myself with people that had done it and realizing they're just normal people. Like they're just like you and I. There's nothing special about them. A lot of them like I think I'm smarter than that guy. And this is me at, because everyone in their early 20s thinks they know everything and they're smarter than everyone they meet. But there were some people like I definitely do think that was the case.
Mhm.
And that was like motivation for me to like, all right, I can really do this. And that's one of the driving forces that led us to now doing multiple seven figures, having a company that has over 40 employees, working with over 1,000 churches. And so it's just really cool to see how it started and where it is now.
Awesome. That's a very inspiring story, Brady. And what I took away from this conversation so far is you did not give up. You had that first gig that you were talking about. Your pastor gave you a $500 budget. You did it. Did not go well, but you learned from your mistakes, learned from that failure, and then you reinvented the wheel. I would not say reinvent the wheel, but at least you did something different that helped you in moving the needle in the right direction. And I think our listeners, just because you see a stop or you see a hurdle, don't just give up. Try differently. Talk to some people. I think Brady gave another example of how he was going to different networking events, how he was meeting with different people who already did this. And yes, he already had his dad himself who was doing this, so a lot of learnings would have come from him. But at the same time, stepping out, be out there, uh, be away from that comfort zone and make things happen. So thank
Yeah.
you, Brady, for that inspiring story. I'm sure many of our listeners will see that inspiration and do something different if they're getting stuck today, what they are doing. So thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I really give a lot of credit to my pastor for not giving up on me because after I blew that $500, it would have been really easy for him to be like, hey, appreciate it, but like we don't want to waste any more money. So like let's
Mhm.
just not do this anymore. But no, like he
Yeah.
believed in me. And so, a couple takeaways from that is like, yes, it's great to have someone believe in you, but as you grow and get success, what can you do to believe in the people beneath you, right? And to give them second chances.
Mhm.
And those are some of the things that I look for now, like whenever I manage my team.
Yes, believing in people is so, so true because we all, when we started, someone believed in us. Someone did not gave on us the first time. They also uh, showed that patience. They also gave their best in us so that we became the person who we are. So, very great point, Brady, that you're bringing it up. Now, when you were sharing your story, it looks like a fairy tale that everything just fall in place. But I'm sure it would not be a very smooth ride for you. So help us understand that transition that you did from ministry to actually doing that marketing agency. What was happening, and were there any moments where you were doubting yourself? You had some kind of uncertainty. How did you dealt with those things?
Yeah, man. We grew really fast in the early days. Like our first year, we brought on like 200 clients, which
Oh,
was
wow.
insane.
Hmm.
And the problem is like we weren't ready for that. Like
Hmm.
we had a lot of growing pains. Um, it was an eye-opening experience for me whenever I realized, okay, we've got to change something.
Hmm.
Whenever we were growing, and it's not that we were having client churn, it was whenever we had team churn, like whenever we had employees leaving, when I realized, okay, maybe there's a problem here. And we need to like restructure things in the organization. Like I remember the first time we had a girl quit. I was like, she just can't handle it. Man, this job's not for everyone. I get it. We grind around here. We work hard. And then the second person quit. And I was like, man, just another person. They just can't hang. When the third person quit, that's when I was like, okay, maybe we're the problem. Maybe we need to change things because the way we had things structured is our account managers would manage the client's ads and they would also be communicating with the clients. And if I got 30 new clients in a month, one account manager could maybe handle about 30 clients. So I would hire someone and immediately give them the 30 clients from this month.
Mhm.
And the problem is they maybe had 2 weeks of training and then they just jump into the deep end, and it was just not it wasn't a good system because I would have people that, they just jump in and they get an email from a client about a small mistake on a campaign or whatever. And I look at it and it's like, "Oh, that's an easy fix. It actually didn't X, Y, and Z, whatever." It's not that big of a deal. But to a new employee, they don't know that it's not a big deal. The
Mhm.
thought they're having in their head is, I just got this new job. I feel like I didn't get trained very well. Now I've got all this responsibility. And now I've got a client emailing me upset about something. And me and my management team, we look at that and go, "Oh, that's not even a big deal. It's a non-issue." But they don't know. They just see the client that's upset. And then that's whenever they're like, I don't, this job's not for me."
Mhm.
So that for us was a big turning point. I've actually got a book right here I'm going to plug.
Mhm.
One of the things that turned it around for us is Traction by Gino Wickman. This book is amazing. It really helped us get traction in our business. There is basing it on a way you can structure your business called EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, I think is what it is. Yeah,
Mhm.
Entrepreneurial Operating System. And it goes through everything from how you structure your organization, like your org chart, to how frequently should you meet, to setting goals and your core values in your organization.
Mhm.
Because we were just shooting from the hip, man.
Mhm.
I had like my background is, yes, I helped my dad scale our company, and I went to seminary. And then I was able to take some of my seminary credits to Dallas Baptist University and got a marketing degree. But like the marketing, it's kind of a joke. Yes, I have a degree in marketing, but that doesn't tell you how to structure a business. It doesn't tell you how to
Mhm.
run an organization.
Sure.
It really didn't prepare me for, what I'd got myself into.
Mm.
And so that was one of the things whenever we reached out. I'll give a shout out. His name's Lynn Askin. He's our EOS consultant implementer that helped us really like turn our business around to where now we have employees that actually stay. And
Mhm.
now we're the ones that are deciding, okay, if someone's not a good fit, we're letting them go rather than like begging for them to stay. So it's one of those things to where that really like turned our business around, and it was not easy. Like, sure, on paper things were great. We were
Mhm.
growing. In fact, I would brag to my friends in that same network, that network of like different marketing people, that yeah, my wife had just had a daughter, and
Mhm.
I was like, we just
Congratulations.
had a baby, so I'm taking a month off of work. Just we're like, I'm not checking emails. And I was bragging like, "Yeah, our business is a place where I don't have to do anything." Well, I came back and it was a crap storm. Like, it was terrible. I had employees
Mhm.
leaving, and so I really didn't have the business wasn't structured in a place where I could actually take off. And now, thankfully, it is to where, God forbid I die tomorrow, like the business would still function. We had things in place to where it's there. A lot of entrepreneurs, they don't have a business, they just have a really high paying job, right? Like if they were to leave this earth tomorrow and all of the business operations stop and can't continue going, you don't have a business. You have a high paying job is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're not going anywhere, my friend. God is very kind, but
Yes, I
yes,
hope I hope not. Knock
but
knock on
yes,
wood.
you can step up and do something other, some other business. So that's what your structure is doing to you, allowing you to take off, allowing you to design your life, allowing you to focus on things that really requires your attention. And I think one of the other point that you brought it up is just having a degree is no good. Yes, it is good to have a degree, but it does not teaches you anything or everything. So you really need to focus on those nuances of that business, uh, learn from the best, have those cohort around you, as he gave a shout out, Brady gave a shout out to Mr. Askin as a consultant who's helping his organization. So you also need to think, who is your Mr. Askin? Who is that person who is really shaping you up? Because you may not know everything. So great point that you are bringing it up is take help. You are not alone. You can take help from others, and taking help is not sign of weakness, but you take help to become more stronger. So Thank you, Brady, for sharing that story. And
Absolutely.
and I'm sure when things were not going your way, when you were having the challenge of not having time off, what kind of some practices or daily habits you used to you do that really ingrain that self belief in you? Um, when you see that, hey, numbers are going down, or when metrics are not in your favor, what are some of those habits you used that really makes a difference and build that foundation of having a strong personality?
Yeah, man. Um, it's for me, I always look at celebrating wins as much as possible.
Hmm.
So I think one thing I think our company's really good at is getting video testimonials.
Hmm.
Um, Now, believe it or not, we have competitors. You would think, how many companies are out there running meta ads for churches? That's such a niche of a niche, right? But there are other companies like us, and I've got good relationships with a lot of their founders. But one thing that sets us apart is we have way more video testimonials, and I'm going somewhere
Hmm.
with this. And one of the reasons why I'm so big on it is number one, it's good to leverage in our marketing to get new clients. Yes, but it's really good for me and the team. Like, whenever I'm done with this call, I've got our Monday hands-on meeting with all of our staff, and
Hmm.
something we do every Monday is we watch one of those testimonial videos together.
Wow.
And it's a great encouragement to the team
Mm.
because a lot of the times in your organizations, it feels like it's all falling apart.
Mm.
And it feels like, man, all of our clients hate us. All of this is terrible. It's all bad. But in reality, more often than not, you're spending most of your time on the clients or customers that are maybe the 10% that aren't getting good results, that need your attention, that are in high maintenance, that mistakes were made. But there's another 90% that it's crushing. You're crushing it for. That you're getting great results for. There's a percentage there. And so you spend more of your time focused on the clients and the customers, at least in my industry. You spend more time on the customers that aren't happy and aren't getting good results.
Mhm.
Because the clients that are getting good results and are happy, they're happy. They're getting good results. So you don't need to focus on them. And so if you're because you have to focus on the negative. You have to focus on the clients that aren't getting your results to get things turned around, right? That can be really bad for your mindset. And that's like for me, like as the leader of the organization, a lot of my focus is on okay, the clients that aren't doing well, what are we going to do to get their campaigns to turn around? Whenever now big picture things, okay, our margins are tighter. We're going to have to make some tough decisions. I always go back to the wins. I always go back to the positives. And for us, I think we have like over 100 testimonial videos
Wow.
uh, of just clients singing our praises and saying like, "Hey, we signed up for church candy. We were hesitant, but we've been getting X amount of visitors every Sunday. This person, uh, like I've got one that's really powerful that I love to use as examples when I speak at conferences and stuff. I'll
Mhm.
play the video, but this guy, he was a drug addict and an alcoholic. He was unemployed, got let go from his job. He wasn't allowed to be in his kids' lives. He was just really think of rock bottom. And then all of a sudden he gets a text from this pastor one morning and he's like, how did this guy even get my number? Well, turns out the night before, whenever he was strung out on drugs and alcohol, he had saw an ad that we were running for a church in his city, and he responded to it. And he clicked on it and filled out a form, and then the pastor texted him the next morning. He doesn't even remember seeing the ad because he was like blackout drunk. Well, he ends up getting connected with his pastor, gave his life to the Lord. Now he's 6 months sober. He's got a great management job in construction. He's in his kids' lives again, and all of that happened because it first started from that Facebook or Instagram ad that he saw of this church that we set up for him,
Wow.
right? And so I always go back to the wins and the
Mhm.
positives whenever things are looking down. And I have a hack for this.
Mhm.
For getting more testimonial videos for anyone that's interested. There's a couple of things we do. It comes down to you want to incentivize getting testimonial videos, right? You want to incentivize, so make it to where if someone gives a testimonial video, they get something in return, or just create a system for retrieving those testimonial videos easy. So if you run a remote business like we do, you're probably on Zoom a lot with your clients. And anytime there's a win, number one, you should always record those Zoom meetings. But number two, anytime there's a win and your client's talking about it, just ask, hey, I'm recording this meeting. Do you mind if I clip this and share it with the team and maybe even post it on social media just so we can share, like your story? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes.
Mm.
We did this in the early days, something I'm about to share that we don't do as much anymore. But what I would do is I would incentivize my account managers to, we would have a contest and say, hey, we want to get 30 testimonial videos this month. You'll get a like $25 bonus for each testimonial video you get. And if we get a certain amount, we'll do some crazy like company retreat.
Mm.
And what I did is the month before my birthday, the team sent out an email to all of our clients and they texted all of our clients saying, hey, Brady's birthday is next month. He said, we asked what he wanted for his birthday. And, he said he just wants us to get our clients great results. So we're going to put a video together. Can you record a video saying happy birthday, Brady? And then talking about how church candy has made an impact on your church
Wow.
and just like share some of the results. And people are reciprocal in nature and they like to like participate in something like that. And so the team almost worded it like it was a surprise, but I was the one like, it's like, no, they didn't say it was a surprise. They just
Mhm.
said for his birthday, we're putting together this video. I told them for my birthday, I want them to put together this video.
Mhm.
So we were able to get a ton of testimonial videos from that. But
Mhm.
you can only do that so much. Like we do that every year. Now it's like, all right, now a lot of our clients already know about it and they've sent us video. So now our main strategies on Zoom calls after 90 days, like on a 90-day follow-up, we're taking snippets from that call, or I'll sit down with some of our top clients and do like a podcast case study with them and share that and clip that for social media. But all of that is super valuable.
Mhm.
I think most businesses undervalue the power of testimonial videos just because you're able to leverage that so much in your marketing to acquire new customers and new clients, and internally use that to just boost team morale by sharing those wins and those testimonial videos.
Wow. What a great tip you have already given to our listeners. Video testimonial is the way to go. He also provided some ways how you can pitch into your clients for video testimonial. But the main essence, what Brady has shared, is about positive momentum and focus on those wins, small wins, celebrate those wins and bring and take that environment positive. Even if some things are not going great, show them that video. And as Brady and his team, they always, every Monday they talk about it, as well as they watch the testimonial video together to really show the strength of the team and the impact that they have made in the community. So kudos to you, Brady, for making that happen, man. It's phenomenal that your team is number one with all other competition in terms of video testimonials. So kudos.
Absolutely, man. It's one of those things that seems simple, like, yeah, sure, get video testimonies. But like I always tell entrepreneurs when I'm coaching them is like, okay, here's like our process on how we scaled our business. First thing we do is get a client. You
Mhm.
offer your services for free, like whatever, just get a client so that when you get the client, you can then deliver fantastic results. Give them really, really good results, like knock it out of the park. Then once you knock it out of the park, capture some kind of video testimonial. Like from there, document it. And then after you document it, use it in your marketing, use it in meta ads, targeting your avatar, post it on social media, but leverage that case study to then get a new client.
Yeah,
And then once you get that new client, guess what? Then you knock it out of the park. Then once you knock it out of the park, get a good testimonial video. Then once you get a good testimonial video, leverage it in your marketing. And so it's a cycle that we just continuously run. So we just keep running that play over and over. And then there's this compound effect um, that we've seen of growth in our
sure.
company.
Absolutely, man. And when I was doing my research about you and your leadership, Brady, I learned that there is a system that you use. I think it's plan your strategy or plan your
Plan your
business.
visit. Yeah.
So, can you enlighten with us, enlighten to our audience what that system is all about, so that we can also learn and see how we can execute that?
Yeah. So this is the ad strategy that we use specifically for churches. So when I was working for chiropractors, we would focus on lead generation. So the goal was we want to help chiropractors book a new patient appointment from meta ads, right? And so a lot of the times the offer we would run is, hey, $29 for your first visit. Like the goal is just to get them in the door. It's a discounted first visit. Well, when we're running ads for churches, what do we say? We're not going to do, it's like, hey, your first visit's free. Like that
Mhm.
doesn't even make sense. Like, right? It's always free.
Right.
So just trying to come up with a way to get people to, yes, show up to the church. Because if we just say, hey, you're invited, we'd love to see you Sunday. That's what I tried first for our church, and we spent $500 and no one showed up. Because, like, sure, people saw the ad, like I was looking at the impressions and all of that, and no one showed up. So my thought process was like, all right, we need people to take action and fill out some kind of form. And then once they filled out a form giving us their name, email, and phone number, our team would follow up with them and just connect with them. And so we needed like a reason for them to give us their info. And so what we started doing is asking people to plan their visit. And essentially we say like, hey, we know visiting a church for the first time might be intimidating if you don't know anyone. That's why we want to connect with you before Sunday. So plan a visit by answering the questions below, and we'll connect before Sunday to make sure the whole family feels welcomed. And with an example I always tell is recently I've been looking for a new gym, and my sister goes on and on about CrossFit. Have you heard of CrossFit?
Yes, yes, I have.
Where like a lot of people say like CrossFit is a cult.
Mhm.
And so that was a little intimidating. And, and I'm looking up CrossFit gyms in my city, and I'm like, man, this looks cool. I would love to go visit and like check out the gym and try it out. But I don't know. I'm not in the best shape of my life. Like I've gained some weight. I'm not as athletic as I used to be when I was younger, and I don't know. I don't want to be embarrassed because I don't know anyone, and like they're really big on like community and CrossFit, so like I don't want to be like the outsider.
Mhm.
It's like, man, I wish I could like connect with like a trainer or someone that goes to this gym beforehand. That way, like I know someone whenever I show up. And then I immediately thought, like, oh my gosh, this is what people feel like before they visit a church, right? They're not in the like how I felt like I wasn't in the best physical shape. A lot of people feel like, oh, I'm not as spiritual as these other people that go to church. So I don't, or like the community side of like, I don't want to feel like an outsider. This is what people feel like before going to church. And so this is where like the plan your visit model comes into play. So people will fill out a form, and then we use a mix of automations plus manual follow up with people that fill out that form. And so we coach the churches and their teams that work with us on how to like follow up with all those essentially leads of families that are interested in visiting their church, how to make them feel welcomed and connect with them before Sunday. Now, that's like some practical lessons for like business organizations out there is, for what we have found is the number one place that people drop the ball when they work with church candy is
Mhm.
we'll get them leads. We'll get people that are interested in their church, and then they don't show up for church on Sunday. And what happens is they get a list of name, email, and phone numbers of people interested in going to their church, and they don't do anything to follow up with them.
Mhm.
And when I talk to other marketing agency owners that maybe work with plumbers or HVAC companies, that's a common problem they have too, to where they will generate leads for the business they're working with, but then the business doesn't have any kind of system to follow up with those leads and book an appointment. Uh, Harvard did a study a while back on why it's important to follow up with leads. Like you can go look up Harvard Business Review speed to lead, and you can get the exact data. I don't know exactly what it is off the top of my head, but
Okay.
it basically shows the impact of why it's important to follow up with a lead quickly. Like if you
Mhm.
get a lead, if you can get on the phone with them within the first 5 minutes of them filling out a form, the chances of you closing that lead are dramatically high. Really, really, really high. But it drops off like crazy the longer you wait. So even if you wait more than 5 minutes, if you wait an hour to follow up with that lead, the odds of you closing that lead drop dramatically. And so that's one of the things we always have to coach the churches on. Even though they're not closing a deal, the deal they're closing is the decision that that person's going to make on whether or not they're going to show up to church on Sunday. That's what they're having to close them on. And so that's why it's so important, because when they fill out that form, motivation is the highest when they press submit. That's when they have already decided in their head that they want to do work with your business, that they want to work with your organization, or in our case, they want to show up to church on Sunday. The problem is life happens. Their wife tells them they need to go mow the yard. They got their kid's soccer game on Saturday. They've got all these things going on in their business that they're super busy about. And so the longer you wait, the more that motivation goes away.
Sure.
And then by the time you do follow up, they say, yeah, I wanted to do that, but I've got a million things going on. I don't,
Mhm.
it can easily get kicked to the back burner.
Sure, sure. So I think the follow up, so a quick follow up is the differentiator team. If you are looking for another marketing tip from Brady, he has given the second golden nugget already when it comes to tip. So focus on finishing your lead or following up on your lead within the first 5 minutes of the moment it comes to you.
Absolutely.
Well, I think this has been a great and pleasure to have a word with you, Brady, and share with our audience on how you did and what you did. Before we move to our rapid fire round, what next for you? What new vision, new tools, or the new market you want to influence?
Yeah, man. Um, there's a lot of different things. For me, I think we'll always be in the church space, even if one day like we grow the company and end up selling it. I think I would still just be passionate about ministry and helping the local church. One project that we're working on that's really cool is um, there's software and technology available that, like anytime you go to a website, there's a little pop up that talks about cookies, like, oh, this
Mhm.
website's gonna track your cookies or whatever. Well, there's a way to where you're able to take people's IP address and match name, email, phone number, and even a physical address. And then there's even a way to do that with search. So if someone searches on Google, for example, churches in Houston, if they search that, even if they don't go to one of our clients' websites, we're still able to gather that data. So one of the things that we're going to start offering to our clients is direct mail postcards. And anytime someone's looking for a church or goes to their church website, start doing a mail campaign to them, sending them physical mail, inviting them to church. Because personally, some people would be like, oh, they went to your website. You got their email and phone number. Just email them, call them. I don't know that I would be really weirded out if I go to a church's website and then I get a call from their pastor or start getting emails. I'd be like, how did you even get my info? This is
Yeah,
weird. You don't want to scare them away.
yeah.
But people are already get used to getting mail, right? Public addresses are already public info that you can just send mail campaigns out to anyways. But instead of just sending it out to people randomly, why don't you send it out to just people specifically that are already in the market and
Mhm.
interested in going to
Oh,
church? So that's a project we're working on.
nice.
I haven't even announced it yet. A lot of my team doesn't even know, so it's very behind the scenes. So I'm dropping it here first.
Awesome. And that's so very strategic that instead of just sending postcard to everyone, be more strategic to the ones who are interested. So they already have their foot in the door. Oh,
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing that insight with our listeners. And I'm very confident that this new strategic move would definitely help your clients in winning more. I can't say the business because church is more about getting more foot in the door, getting more people to give their life or to devote their life to Lord. So thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Now we have our rapid fire round, Brady, where 5 questions will be coming to you, and we would want you to respond instantly. Okay.
I'm excited. Let's do it.
All right. So the first one, a quotation you live by.
So Steve Jobs said, "Focus is saying no to good ideas." As entrepreneurs, we get a lot of crazy ideas, and I have to say no to a lot of them. But the new direct mail campaign stuff is one of those crazy ideas, or those good ideas that I think it's time for me to say yes to.
Wow. Saying no to the good ideas or saying no to the ideas. Very good. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
It depends on the day and how much sleep I got and how much coffee I had.
Okay.
I built church candy. It's funny. I built church candy. Um, my business. Whenever my wife would go to sleep, I would sneak out of bed and go to my laptop, and just grind and like go to do that. Now I can't do that. I'm passing out. Uh,
Mhm.
I've got young kids now, and so that's forced me to be a morning person.
Okay. Okay. What's one daily routine you don't skip no matter how hectic has been your day?
I'm having 2 cups of coffee a day, 1 in the morning and then 1 again after lunch. I don't
Okay.
I don't skip out on my caffeine.
Got it. Got it. What's one leadership skill you wish someone would have taught you earlier?
Man, what is it they say to hire slow and fire fast? Uh,
Mm.
you know, it's one of those things that early on in the business made some wrong hires and kept them around probably longer than we should have.
The last one, if your career were a Netflix series, Brady, what would be the title of season one be?
Season one, the Brady Bunch. Come on, man.
Awesome. That was quick, and that was Brady Sticker for you, ladies and gentlemen. And before I let him go, I have my learnings from the show. And now this is your time. Yes, listeners and people who are watching us on YouTube, this is now your time to mention your learnings from this episode. What are your takeaways? What is one thing that you will share with someone else? So for me, number one was is believing in your people. The pastor with whom Brady was working initially, he believed in him. He gave him that second chance. He made sure that Brady becomes successful. So, as a leader, make sure you believe in your people. Make sure you give them second chance. Very, very important. Number two, take failure as a learning. Don't quit the moment you fail. Failure has to be more as an attempt in learning. So do not quit. Number three, celebrate small wins. Don't just focus on celebrating the big wins. Celebrate small win. Build a positive culture within the organization so that people are staying motivated. People are encouraged to do better. And in Brady's case, how he and his team is sharing their video testimonial with the team members every Monday so that the team stay positive. Even if the week or the month is going down for whatever reason, they stay positive because if they are positive, they will have a positive impact on others. Uh, Multiple tips that was shared by Brady in our episode with no cost to you, ladies and gentlemen. One of them is follow up on your lead within the first 5 minutes. Otherwise, it's gone. That's it from us. Thank you, Brady, again for being on the show. We really appreciate your time and we really admire the work that you have done for the community. May God bless you and may you get all the clients and all the good wishes from our community. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. If anyone wants to connect, I'm most active on social media, just at Brady Sticker. Would love to connect on Instagram there. But yeah, I hope anyone listening has a blessed day and got some value out of this.
All right. And we will include his contact information on our show notes so you will not miss connecting with him. All right. Thank you and have a great day.